Alright, so I'm going to have to create some ways to be able to play the music to this. And for people at home, can easily just get the YouTube that has the dark side of the moon. We'll have that one figured out, so we're all hitting play on the same video at the same time. And that'll be the audio source for the video that's played here. Since the sync is here, but I can't play the music with the sync. This is very disturbing. YouTube just cut me off by the time I got to time. And that's with the Wizard of Oz playing and me talking on top of it. And it's still thought that this isn't transformative enough, or that I'm using it as a radio station and I'm playing music. And this is bizarre, because it is quite an extreme hurdle I'm going to have to jump here if I'm going to try to discuss Pink Floyd music and can't play the music. I mean, I think I've played Pink Floyd on top of Pink Floyd, so it's two Pink Floyd tracks playing at the same time, and it'll just say no, you're playing something that's copyrighted, even though the algorithm should be completely smashed. Then again, this last sync that I found, which is eyes wide shut syncs, you have a Bill's exterior start and a Victor's exterior start, and so it's two different composites, and so it's two different scenes from the movie that are layered into a single composited frame, and all the audio is from both sources. So somehow Warner Brothers wants to maintain copyright for media that is not available anywhere else and should just be, willfully, as an art piece just given over to me to allow for new interpretations, and this is definitely a new interpretation. Yet, they, after discussing all of that and putting it into my appeal for them to pull the copyright strike, they read through it. They had to have at least seen what it was that they were saying was theirs, and they did. They said it was theirs. Because it is Kubrick's freaking masterpiece, they want to own it. They want to own it. Well, come to me, please. Because I found it. So, I found it, but they won't let me show it. So maybe they have other plans on how they want to present it to be shown. But as of yet, it is not that case. Why would there be so much black on this? Huh. No visuals or audio? What? Right. Yeah, so this sync here, this is a freaking fantastic sync. But they won't let it, and I do have it on YouTube. It is available on YouTube to watch, which is great. But, the only way you're really going to get... The only way I'm going to be able to convince anybody that there's anything worth seeing, because it's poo-pooed by the band and by the engineers, and So if they say it didn't happen, yeah, that's worth so much. It's worth quite a bit in the art world. If they say they didn't do it, they didn't do it. But I have there are reasons they would say that they did not do it. That are even at just surface level reasons to say they didn't do it, even having done it. Because if you watch the sync, it gives ulterior interpretations to the words that are sang in the song, in the songs. And some of those interpretations might be frowned upon, or definitely would be frowned upon. Like we're just ordinary men, but we want to have sex, or it has to be understood that we are just ordinary men when it comes to them, and them on the screen are these little girls dancing, these little midgets dancing. It's kind of it's art, man. But might be their cause for that. And then also the wall. So much went into the wall being a secret that Sean Evans still won't talk about it, and they block it. Even though it was completed in 2014, the wall live, Roger Waters' The Wall live, was in the can more than 10 years ago. They still want to keep the sync a secret. Which goes back to the imagery and the visual tomfoolery or perversions that exist in the compositions, and might be frowned upon by a majority of the nation. I guess chopping the head off of Dorothy as a joke. I mean, how dare you? This is definitely not something you would just invite people in to watch. But that's what I would like to do, is invite people in to watch Dorothy get her head cut off and blood spill all over the golden road. So money, of course, is playing right now. Money, and it's this expensive, elaborate set. It's wild to think that's all indoors, and those sets are so huge. Like the Kubrick set where they built the hotel, and then it burned down, so they rebuilt it. It's huge. I mean, is all indoors. The indoors is indoors. The inside lobby is inside a huge studio. The color blendings are nice here. It'd be so much better with music. There's blue with blue, and then we have this Kubrick cube. A bunch of room noise. I like that room noise. This is not what I had planned. I guess, I mean, it's so bizarre because last time, yesterday, it seemed I made it much further into the Wizard of Oz show before getting a copyright. Or not, I don't know if it was copyright. I don't know exactly what the terms and services are. I can imagine some algorithms picked up the Wizard of Oz or the Dark Side of the Moon and just yanked it. I thought you could play the music through, you just wouldn't get to be able to monetize the video later, but I guess they don't even want the music played unless you have permission straight from the composers. I thought, there's just, it's just a fucking game. It is a game to be played. How do you get the music into the video? Like, what alterations can you pass the songs through the algorithm? The scanner darkly. So it's great, these Kubrick connections in the visuals and the offboard visuals. You have computer-generated stuff here, and towards the end, and I believe, already there's been spacemen floating, but it's obvious with the spaceman and his visor. You can see the reflection of these lights is very Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite, the final scene of 2001: Space Odyssey, and in being so is a nod to their previous works together, because by the time Dark Side of the Moon had been published in '73, they'd already done Echoes, and Echoes Part 1 and 2 performed live in Pompeii. That Live in Pompeii film was made by Kubrick. He was secretly worked with Pink Floyd on 2 albums. You have Atom Heart Mother, which means there were definitely other composers. The Gleason composer of Atom Heart Mother complained because the final product wasn't what he had intended. Like, there were hands beyond his. He was pulled off. They had somebody else come in. And so the final work was okayed by men behind the scenes that had composed the tracks to sit on top of Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite. And it's Kubrick's composites that are the giveaway that it's intelligently designed. The Live at Pompeii, towards the end, as well as the lenses that the Live at Pompeii was shot with, the opening and closing of Echoes is a shot that was only achievable by lenses that only Kubrick had access to through NASA. Currently on the Wikipedia for Adrian Maben, the stooge director for Live at Pompeii that somehow had those lenses, he is now accredited for working on the Apollo missions and with NASA, which is a nod by the unseen that all the pieces do come together to show that Kubrick was involved in Live at Pompeii. Adrian Maben is laughable as a human being, never mind a director of a film. And he's dead now. He died right after I sent him the video that synced his Chit Chat with Oysters on top of Live at Pompeii, on top of 2001: Space Odyssey, and generating something beyond his comprehension in magnificence and the long sight that must have been involved in even formulating such a plan. Because in 2015, Chit Chat with Oysters, Kubrick's dead. Like, Roger Waters is around. Roger Waters is involved with the the wall, and his composites, he definitely is interested in it. So, it is Pink Floyd um, proper. It is part of the canon of Pink Floyd that Chit Chat with Oysters was shot by Mabin and put together as a just a commemorative piece, like just a little film. He hadn't done anything else in so many years that he just felt like he could. He apparently found one can, one can of film that he had shot and had separated. This fool says he was editing at home too. Only Kubrick was editing film at home. And he said front projection when it was clearly a rear projection, and it was transflex. So him calling it front projection is a fuck up that was designed for his stupid naivety to not comprehend. Although no, he did spell out. The machine was the size of an elephant in the Nile, and that was responsible for the front projection. But transflex was a word that was in the credits to Live at Pompeii, and they exist nowhere else other than in the credits of Live at Pompeii. And so he was reading the transflex credits and knew of the front projection, or maybe I don't know. I don't think it was front projection. I'm pretty sure that was not front projection. There's too much lighting attenuations that front projection, you actually project what you want to show up behind them onto them, and it has to be flooded out, and that's not the case. It was just a rear projection. That was shot with for the Live at Pompeii inserts. What? What is going on, dude?